She told her friend, "He's not my type, just my ATM." She had no idea I heard every word. The next day, she sat on my lap asking for $5,000, so I gave her my answer, and it wasn't money. I'm 34, and for the longest time, I believed my girlfriend truly loved me for who I was. I've always been the kind of person who values honesty, loyalty, and keeping life simple. I never felt the need to impress her with grand gestures or try to be someone I'm not. Still, whenever she needed something, whether it was to cover a bill, buy something she wanted, or help her out in a tough moment, I didn't think twice. I saw it as part of being in a committed relationship. We take care of each other. For 2 years, I thought that's exactly what we had: mutual care and understanding. She told me often how lucky she felt to have a man like me, someone dependable and different from the rest. I believed her. But one afternoon, my perspective changed in a way I'll never forget. I had left work earlier than usual and decided to surprise her by picking her up from a cafe she often visited with friends. As I walked toward the place, I spotted her sitting outside with one of her close friends. They were leaning in close, deep in conversation, and she didn't notice me. I slowed down, not wanting to interrupt. That's when I caught a sentence, just a sentence, that made me stop cold. Her friend asked, "So, do you really think you're going to marry him?" And my girlfriend laughed, not in a shy, nervous way, but in a way that felt casual, confident, almost certain. She said, "Are you joking? He's not my type at all. He doesn't meet my standards. He's sweet, and he spends money on me whenever I need it, so I'm not complaining. But my future husband? That's going to be someone very different." I stood there, frozen in place. Every word hit me harder than I could process. It wasn't just that she didn't see a future with me. It was that she saw me as the placeholder, a resource, something to use until something better came along. Her friend chuckled awkwardly and tried to change the subject, but I'd already heard enough. I turned around before either of them could spot me, walked back to my car, and sat there in silence. My hands were resting on the steering wheel, but I couldn't even think about driving. I replayed her words again and again, hoping I had misheard or misunderstood, but there was no mistake. She didn't love me. She loved what I could give her. The rest of that evening, I didn't say a word to her. I acted normal, which was harder than I thought it would be, because I didn't want her to suspect anything yet. Part of me wanted to confront her right there at the cafe, but another part of me wanted to see what she would do next. Would she show me any genuine affection? Would she act differently if she knew I'd hurt her? That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, realizing the woman I had been building a life with was building something completely different in her head, something I wasn't a part of. The next day would give me my answer, and it would change everything. The next morning, I decided to carry on like nothing had happened. I wasn't ready to let her know I'd overheard that conversation. I wanted to see her without my reaction clouding the moment, just to confirm what I already suspected. She came over to my place in the afternoon. The same cheerful voice, the same warm greeting, the same little kiss on the cheek. For a brief second, I almost convinced myself that maybe I was overthinking everything. But then she made herself comfortable on my couch, looked at me with a soft smile, and said, "Babe, I need a favor." I asked what it was, keeping my tone casual. She shifted closer, swung one leg over my lap, and wrapped her arms loosely around my neck. "It's kind of urgent," she said. "I need $5,000. Can you give me your ATM card so I can just take it out?" It was such a clean, matter-of-fact request. No hesitation. No explanation of why she needed it or how she'd pay it back. It wasn't the first time she'd asked for money, but this time, it hit differently. This time, I knew exactly how she saw me. I looked at her, really looked at her. She was still smiling, but her eyes didn't have that spark you expect from someone in love. It was a transactional kind of smile, like she was already picturing what she'd do with the money. "Funny thing," I said quietly. "Yesterday, I was walking up to meet you at the cafe. I happened to hear part of your conversation with your friend." Her smile vanished instantly. What are you talking about?" "I heard you say I'm not your type," I continued, my voice steady. "That I don't meet your standards. That I'm just someone who spends money on you until the person you really want comes along." Her body stiffened. For a second, she looked like she wanted to say something, but nothing came out. Then she forced a light laugh. "Oh my God, you actually took that seriously?" "It was a joke. I was just messing around." I didn't look away. It didn't sound like a joke. She shifted uncomfortably in my lap, her arms loosening. "You're overreacting. I didn't mean it like that." In that moment, I realized she wasn't worried about how hurt I might be. She was worried about what this meant for her, about what she might lose. I didn't say anything else. I just kept my eyes on her, letting the silence stretch. She finally looked away, her voice quieter now. "So, does this mean you're not giving me the money?" That one line told me everything. The rest of the conversation, the begging, the tears, would come soon. But right then, I knew the relationship was already over. The moment I didn't hand her the card, her entire demeanor shifted. Her voice dropped into that soft, pleading tone I'd heard before when she wanted to get her way. "Babe, please," she said, sliding off my lap and sitting next to me. "Don't let one stupid conversation ruin everything we have." I didn't mean it like that. I leaned back and kept my hands clasped together. "It's not one stupid conversation. It's the truth, and you said it when you thought I wasn't listening. That's the part that matters." Her eyes started to water. "You're twisting it. You know I care about you." I shook my head. "You care about what I can do for you. There's a difference." She moved closer, grabbing my arm. "You're overthinking. I was just talking. You know how girls sometimes say things they don't mean." I looked her in the eye. "No, I don't talk about people I love like that. Not to friends. Not to anyone." Her tears fell faster now. "I'll do better, okay? Just don't walk away. We can fix this." I stood up, and she followed, clutching at my hand. "Why are you doing this? You've been there for me through everything. Don't throw it away over some careless words." "Careless words," I repeated. "If they were really careless, they wouldn't match your actions. But they do, and I can't unhear them." For a moment, she looked like she was going to argue again, but instead, she just dropped my hand. "So that's it. You're just leaving." "I'm not leaving," I said quietly. "I'm ending something that should have ended the moment I realized I was only here to fill your wallet, not your heart. If you want someone who fits your standards, you should go find him. I'm not that guy, and I'm not an ATM." Her lips pressed into a thin line, but she didn't say another word. I walked past her, opened the door, and stepped outside. She stayed in the doorway, arms crossed, eyes red, watching me go. I didn't look back. That was the last time we spoke. It's been weeks now, and part of me still plays that conversation over, wondering how long she'd really seen me this way. I'm not angry anymore, just relieved I found out before I invested more years into someone who never saw me as a partner. I've learned one thing. Love without respect isn't love at all. So, what would you have done in my place? Would you have walked away immediately, or given her another chance?